So the word fascism to a lot of side of like the West is a meaningless term. No, it's meaningless. It means something to them. It means basically anybody not a leftist, which again is not fascism, by the way. Fascism, I would argue, is a leftist. I know the academics have done a great job of trying to rewrite and rebrand history because they wanted to separate the leftist, socialist types from the fascists. So what they did was roll their academics out there to try to say that communism, for example, is on the other side of fascism, which couldn't be anything further from the truth. It makes no sense. You can go watch my long form videos that I've done on this subject. One actually going through the doctrine of fascism by way of Mussolini and Giovanni Gitale. Also, I did a long form, about 40-minute deal saying, yes, Nazis are fascists. No, excuse me, yes, Nazis are socialists is what the title was. And to act like they're antithetical is nonsense. Definitely when you consider who Mussolini was and him being a former Marxist and everything, and specifically fascism being what they deemed as an anti-individualistic philosophy. It was not a pro-individualistic philosophy. It was actually anti-liberalism in the modern sense up to that point. So not like liberalism as you think of it today, but liberalism as in classical liberalism, which some people like to deem as more libertarianism, focused on individual private property rights and whatnot. Fascism and Mussolini was specifically against all of that. But when you have people that's stupid, they think fascism mean anybody to the opposite of them. So they end up sounding like what their adversaries are, advocating what their adversaries or what they claim the fascists were. And here we have another example of this. Is out of Australia, if I'm not mistaken. And we're gonna listen to some weirdos who look exactly like you would think that they would look, who are on some sort of protest or something. They have "You freaks make us sick." There's a sign there. Says pro-vaccine, pro-health, anti-fascist. Also says don't be a scab, get the jab. Now let's listen to what this heifer with the megaphone or whatever it is she has to say.
Of course, the far-right mobilizing in those gardens support one of the most repressive institutions on earth. Shame! Shame on you! We've seen every variety of far-right grouplet demonstrating in our city today. And we're here to say that we are not going to let people who want to undermine important public health measures which keep people in our community alive to argue for those measures to end anymore.
Okay, so this heifer, I know it's hard to kind of make out what it is she's saying, but imagine being this much of a fucking brainlet, okay, in which she's saying anti-fascist, right, while then advocating for policies in which the corporate entities are connected and doing the bidding of the state, whether it be the pharmaceutical companies or anything like that, while advocating that the state and their measures, which is what she's talking about with these public health measures, she doesn't want people that are neglecting those. So in short, she's closer to the fascism and what actual fascism is than the people that she's screaming at.
These far-right figures have been
She said call them far-right bigots.
mobilizing all across the country, peddling conspiracy theories and lies that the vaccine is unsafe and that lockdowns are a communist plot to destroy freedom.
Well, it is. I mean, shit. Where's the lie? Where's the lie there? I don't understand what the lie was. It is. She said that the far right bigots, which is everybody that's not a leftist, y'all got to remember how they use language, and saying that they don't understand or she doesn't understand for them peddling this stuff about lockdowns, for example, being like a communistic sort of plot to ruin individual freedom. Where's the lie? That's the truth. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
And we know how dangerous these ideas are. Those ideas demonstrate a willful disregard for the health and safety
I mean, she said that what they're saying is like a complete disregard for the health and safety of the majority, which goes to show why democracy is a piece of shit philosophy.
If those people got their way, we'd be seeing hundreds of deaths a day like the UK is experiencing right now. Shame!
Look, I feel for y'all out there in Australia because y'all are surrounded by a bunch of fucking wackadoodles. But seriously, this person is fucking retarded, okay? I can't use a different word because that's exactly what this person is. This person is stupid, okay? Like, imagine being that much disconnected, but it goes to show that these terms don't mean anything coming from them. They mean something, but from them, they don't mean anything because they don't even see like the cognitive, or they're not aware of it, the cognitive dissonance, obviously, in that they are talking this anti-fascist thing and they're calling the people who don't want the state to merge with the corporate entities and pushing this general philosophy of, okay, it's my job to take responsibility for your health and those sorts of things. That's about as fascistic as it possibly can. That's exactly what fascism is. Everything within the state, nothing without it. So the people that you're screaming at are the anti-fascists, at least in this equation. You are the fascistic one. Fascism is not simply, okay, you're a leftist that cares about people. Mussolini sold the same lie of that, for the sake of basically everybody and everything that it is that we're attempting to accomplish, y'all need to be holding to everything it is that we want you to do. Everything within the state, nothing without it, right? The individual only can exist in the event that the individual is wanting what the state wants. So there is no individualism, which is why it was specifically, and again, don't take my word for anything. Go read The Doctrine of Fascism, right? And look specifically at how he talks about it being anti-individualistic. He says, like, if the previous century or something like that was the century of the individual, again, talking about liberalism in the classical sense, then this is the age of, like, sort of the collective. And you look at what he talks about Marxian forms of socialism, in that he wasn't against socialism. In fact, if you read The Doctrine of Fascism, Mussolini and them basically suggest that, okay, they don't suggest, they just explicitly state that they understood, because they were former socialists, by the way, or former Marxists, understood what it was trying to accomplish. They just felt like the means in which the Marxists were attempting to do it was insufficient. So that was what they were against when they talked about socialism and socialistic effort. It wasn't against the philosophy in itself, definitely from an economic sense, because they advocated for that. But these brainless don't understand that. And this is what happens when you give stupid people megaphones. They are walking contradictions. And they're too fucking oblivious because they screaming and yelling and all of that sort of stuff. They don't understand anything it is in terms of what they're advocating. Like, this person is a goddamn brainlet, man. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.